Did you know that the phrase rolling out the red carpet comes from the Greek mythological figure Clytemnestra, but more specifically from an ancient Greek play called Agamemnon by Aeschylus? Agamemnon was the king of Mycenae, and he goes to the Trojan War, which was a 10-year-long war. When he returns home, his wife Clytemnestra welcomes him home by rolling out a red tapestry for him to walk along. He says, no, I can't do that. I am just a mortal man. I am not a god. But he does it anyway, because he's an arrogant piece of whatever is stuck to the bottom of your shoe. So he walks inside to the bath that she has prepared for him, and when he's in the bath with his guard down, she chops him to pieces. And honestly, can you blame her though? Because what did Agamemnon do to her? Oh, he murdered her first husband and their infant son, and then he forced her to marry her, and then when they had a child together, he murdered that daughter so that he could get a good wind and sail to Troy, where he would murder hundreds of other people. Clytemnestra by Costanza Casati is a retelling of Clytemnestra's life from her childhood as Spartan royalty to the time that she murders Agamemnon. She is vengeful, she is violent, she is strong, and I absolutely love her. However, I did not particularly love the entirety of this book, even though I'd heard really incredible things about it. I adored the first half that takes place in Sparta. It was wonderful. The prose was lyrical, beautiful, hard-hitting. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing Casati's interpretation of what life would have been like in Sparta, particularly for women. And I loved seeing the relationships that she develops with her sisters. It was really beautiful. But as soon as we get to Mycenae, it started to fall off a little bit for me. Part 3 begins by skipping 15 years ahead. We get some build up until her daughter Iphigenia is murdered by Agamemnon, and then part 4 begins 9 years later. The rest of the novel is filled with too much exposition, too much telling instead of showing. There are too many instances where a character will tell Clytemnestra, remember when this happened and it made you feel like this? Okay, don't tell me that, show me that. Because of the massive time jumps, we don't get to see these scenes that are really important to developing the main character. And it made Clytemnestra feel more like an archetype rather than a character, if that makes sense. It felt like she was written to fulfill the role of female rage. And I struggled to differentiate her from other female rage characters in mythology. My other critique is that the novel ends by Clytemnestra thinking to herself how the stories will be changed and how she will be remembered as a violent, horrible woman and Agamemnon will be praised. And I fear that this has become a little bit of a cliche in mythological retellings. And again, it comes down to I want to be shown how the narrative is changing rather than being told that it is changing. Overall, I do think that this book was really well written and I do recommend it, and I think Clytemnestra deserves more love than she has gotten. I think I just had my expectations set a little bit too high for this one.